I can't. Can you hear? I can't hear anything. My volume is up. You're muted, RD.
Happy Fun Friday.
Happy Fun Friday.
I forgot it was Friday.
We're here to
Easy
remind
enough.
we're here to remind you, Nancy, what day it is of the year.
I totally forgot.
Don't worry. You're here.
Oh,
That's the most important thing. Oh, you look fabulous, Sue. You look like
Yes.
Please.
Charlie
This
Chaplin.
is what one cotton ball will do.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm a
Hey,
minimalist.
Lana, I love your flower ears.
Thank you. They're Amanda's.
Oh, they're really
Oh,
great.
they're actually ears?
Actual ears?
They're Mickey Mouse ears.
Oh,
Oh,
how
that's so
cute.
great.
They get them at Disneyland.
Oh, it looks like John Napolitano is here.
I have Einstein.
That's right. Thank you for noticing. Wait, I'll make my hair all crazy.
Oh, I love it.
It doesn't do it.
This is me today.
Or Spotlight.
Connecting heaven and earth. The
Exactly.
circle and the
Oh,
square.
that's so sweet, Leticia. I love it. Oh,
Hi, John.
so sweet.
Thank you, Sue, for
Good
noticing.
morning.
I can't. There I am.
Oh, this is so great. Oh, Reverend Barbara, you look fabulous. I love your rock
Thank you.
glasses.
Thank you. Oh,
I can't center myself, but anyways.
Oh, this is so great.
Voila. So you saw it?
So you actually cut out a piece of paper, is that right, Leticia?
Yes. I've been busy.
wow.
It's too big. I guess I had it fits my ego, so it's good.
I baked
Good.
cheesecake yesterday, and like you, I cut a circle, but out of a piece of parchment paper. But I cut a circle.
A bomb. So yes, so I did it, but my circle is a little bit big, but it doesn't matter.
No, not at all. And Mr. John Napolitano, you look like you're in the dark.
Yeah, I'm up upstairs in the attic actually. So I switched places with Katie, and I got Mr. Godzilla here with me because he's in the movies and well
Ooh.
he's got a big co-starring role against a certain who monster. But yeah, he came. This is an old toy of mine that I've been keeping around for the last 20. Almost 30 years, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, it's made in Japan. It's actually from a 1962 replica of a Godzilla action figure that apparently is worth some money, according to collectors.
Oh, I'm so glad that Godzilla can join us.
You know how welcoming the bells are.
Exactly.
Our firehouse, which is around the corner, used to have the hand of King Kong from the Fay Ray movie,
Oh,
sitting on top of like this little office space when you first walk in. So, they always give tours to the kids and put them in their boots and let them climb and everything else. But they would never let the kids go near the hand of King Kong. So funny.
Well, happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
That's it.
Friday. Happy
Friday.
Friday. Happy Friday.
Yes,
Today
happy
is
Friday.
a very, very special day
It is?
because today is energetically the anniversary of 1 year of bells. So
Oh,
exactly
hey.
1 year ago on a Friday, which
Oh.
happened to be April 3.
That's tomorrow.
Even though tomorrow is April 3, but energetically to me, this is the anniversary because I started it on a Friday and actually listed in my notebook who was attended on April 3 and who attended April 4th and therefore on. So,
Oh.
so as part of the
Yeah.
celebration, my question to each one of you, what was the most fun moment of 2020 in the bells for you? What was the most fun moment or the most memorable moment of the bells of 2020? So I'm gonna let you. Oh, there's Miss Rita with her squirrel. Is that a squirrel?
Squirrel or rabbit? Rita,
It's a rabbit.
It's
a
a
rabbit.
rabbit. Oh, I love it. She actually has a real rabbit on her.
We got
Uh,
Rabbit and Mickey Mouse and Godzilla.
I love it.
Bunny rabbits.
So that's my question for you. So if you want to jump in and what was the most fun or the most memorable moment of the bells of 2020? So what do you think on it? Go ahead, Leticia.
Who was on the first bells?
Okay, I will tell you who was listed. On Friday, April 3, the very first day of bells was Peggy Trupin, who is our neighbor, Dee, Adria, Tammy, Lois, and Mary Beth, and Heather and myself. So they were the very first people on the bells on April 3. And then on April 4, these were the people. It was Dee, Lois, Leticia, Elena, I don't remember Elena,
Yes.
Mary Beth, and Lee Loringer. So they were the people that came on the bells on April 4th. And then on April 5th, Nancy came in. And Deborah Riva, who's a friend of ours, Anna Bizarro, who was through the Bioenergy Group, Dee, Adria, Rita Hubert, you were part of it, Tammy, Elena, Mary Beth Biffer, who is a family friend, Missy, who is a multiple myeloma, her husband, and then Melissa Rosati, and then Nadine, who's an architect. So they came in on Sunday, April 5th. And then April 6th, Nancy and Rita and Leticia and Nadine and Marcia Berry. She is a friend of ours. She was diagnosed with cancer, and she, fortunately, she's still doing well. And Tammy. So this is, to me, I'm just very pleased. Here we are 1 year later, and I'm just so blessed, and I feel so supported. And as I was talking to Melissa earlier today, she was saying, RD, you did over 300 sessions of bells. I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So, but to me, on an energy level, today is the anniversary. So, anybody want to share what was the most fun or the most memorable moment of 2020 of the bells?
So many.
Go ahead, John.
I'll go.
Go.
For me, it was I think has been like these fun Fridays and dressing up. But one of the first ones I remember was Halloween, which I used to dress up every year for Halloween, and the bells gave me an opportunity to dress up, because why would I dress up staying at home? And RD and I walked to the farmer's market that day dressed up, and it was because of bells that we dressed up. But it was just so much fun, and especially with what we were going through with the pandemic and how everyone was so serious about everything, it really allowed me to let go and have fun.
Thank you.
If I can go.
Please, Leticia, you were literally at the very beginning of the bells. What was the most fun?
I'm a little bit disappointed I was not on the first call, but maybe I should out.
Okay.
I think what stood out for me is we were quite serious and quite profound and quite dignified. And but slowly we started going deeper and having more fun. And I remember one of the time, I think maybe it was one of the first times you asked, how are your spirits today? I had asked, what spirits? What do you mean? Tequila, Cointreau? Do you mean cognac? And I had fun with that session because it was, really taking a spiritual question, how are your spirits today? And turning it into really something festive and mundane. And I thought that was funny because I like to combine things, and I often say I am irreverent, and I think this is part of it. And it's I am irreverent, but I'm respectfully irrelevant, I think. Irrelevant, I said? Irreverent.
Right.
Maybe irrelevant also.
You're irreverent. Thank you. How about you, Miss Rita? Actually, you were also at the very beginning.
Yes. Yes, I think my favorite part was when we started doing Fun Fridays, because living alone and not having anyone to talk to, the Fun Fridays made us all laugh and became so much more fun. A fun way to, as Leticia said previously, to think of things to do and where to on Fun Friday. So it gave us some hope and joy.
And I love your little rabbit sitting on your shoulder. I think it's so cute. Where did the rabbit come from?
Actually, it was a gift from Jean. It's a style. And she gave it to me when she left for Hawaii.
Oh, that's so sweet. Just let people know, Jean is a very good friends of ours who moved from the Hamptons, and they moved to Hawaii for retirement, and that's where they are. And Heather and I, back in 2015, right? I think 2015, when Heather and I were in California, I went to do a workshop with Raymond Lowe. Jean just called us up and said, come to Hawaii and feng shui our new house. So they flew us to Hawaii. Of course, 2015 was a memorable year where we flew to Hawaii, to help them, with the feng shui of their new house, which was absolutely wonderful. So they're doing very well. And so we all have to look forward to our retirement. Are we retired? I don't think we ever retired. Anyway, but how about you, Reverend Barbara? What was the most memorable moment of 2020 for the bells for you?
Well, first, I'd like to say that after listening to what you just read, I am in absolute awe, and I honor what you've been doing, because every single week you show up 6 days a week. You show up, RD, and I'm in awe. I'm inspired by that. I really, really am. 6 days a week, every single week. That's amazing. For me, the fun, and I think it was Fun Fridays, 2 Fun Fridays. I had a chance to come on and be and look silly, and that was for Christmas. I was Santa Claus. And then for New Year, I was a baby with the pacifier, and I still have that pacifier too. So yes, those two. I know you asked for one, but I couldn't help it. Those two, they were the best, absolute best. Thank you.
They were the best.
And I must say that at the beginning, RD, you used to do the bells 7 days a week.
That is true.
Oh, wow.
And I remember having a discussion about taking a day off, or maybe I should do it 3 days or something like that.
No, that was Heather saying she needed a day off than having bells in her living room 7 days a week.
Yes, and I remember talking to you, RD, and saying, you need a rest. You need a break also.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he did 7 days a week for months.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Ooh.
Exactly. So, Mr. John Napolitano, what was the most memorable moment of 2020 in the Bells? You and Godzilla. What does Godzilla say?
Oh, wow. You know, what Reverend Barber said, I think I have to kind of piggyback there for a moment, because I think there's something to be said about, RD, about your constancy, your consistency, and your persistence in really always, you know, making this happen despite the bad internet connections and, you know, everything in between. And, you know, there was a lot of loss and heartache but yet there was also a lot of joy, and I'm happy that we're focusing on the joy aspect of today, because so many things I could think of, but I mean, of course, my mind goes to food. And I was thinking about Sue and your carbonara for a moment, but I digress for a second. But and Halloween was special too. I think there's something to be said about dressing up and also carrying this forward with the Fun Fridays tradition. It's great. It just buoys my spirits, seeing everybody, and and also to just see the smiles and the laughter, and sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. It goes over my head, but again, I applaud you, RD, Heather, and everybody for just always being here, and in a world where a lot of people just pass through, everybody here is following through, and I just gotta give you big ups on that.
Yeah,
Mm.
Ashe, Aho.
Thank you. Thank you. And Miss Nancy, you were here at the very beginning.
I didn't realize that. My sense of time is gone. I don't know what day it is,
Everybody's sense of time is gone.
how long I've been here, I don't know. But for me, the most fun part was Rita Hubert. She braved COVID, she braved the Long Island traffic, and she drove to my house to bring an advent calendar, because I had mentioned that we had that tradition before Christmas where you open the one little door and get a little candy every day before Christmas. So Rita made that ride. So I didn't know her before the Bells. I only knew her as this little square in the Zoom box. But she went the extra probably 40 miles each way to come and deliver that. So I would have to say that was above and beyond. That was the most fun to meet Rita.
That's nice.
And actually, it's interesting, both you, Nancy, and Rita, you both came on the same day together on April 5th.
Oh, okay.
How is that for a connection?
I'll drink some water.
That was very memorable for me too. I think it touched all of us that Rita, that you did that for everyone, and it was just it was a beautiful gesture.
I agree.
Absolutely.
It was my
Praise
pleasure.
Everybody's chi.
Absolutely.
Really good.
I didn't get mine. I'm just kidding.
But I
That's
think
a long drive, Lana.
I know. I know.
I think that Rita's gesture really also deepened our connection between all of us.
Mhm.
Mm.
We
That is-
talked about it for a good week or more.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
And it caused other, it created a chain reaction of different things that happened as a result.
Right.
Look at you, Rita.
And Sue, what was the most memorable of 2020 for the Bells for you?
I put out an email. I was in a crisis, and I probably sent it to at least 15 people, but you were among the first and only to respond. Maybe 3 people responded. I mean, I only really needed 1, but you responded, and I knew you, but I didn't think you would remember me.
Mhm.
Why would you? But we had this incredibly long talk, and I think it was probably in May.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I could I could rise above what was happening and just let it go for that 40 minutes every day and be part of something bigger, come outside of myself. And as a result, I think over a short period, fairly short period of time, I think I was just able to put all the other stuff, it was very, very physical. I was able to kind of put it by the wayside and not let it be as big as it really was. So I'm extremely grateful for that and for having you too, and all of you and everyone who's just not even here today. My life this past year really expanded as a result, and I'm very grateful to all of you and I appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. And cousin
Can I take
Lana,
this off?
what was the most fun or the most memorable of 2020 for the bells for you?
Well, you guys all brought a lot of points. But I will say, I mean, when I saw Sue and Nancy's watercolors, I think that kind of inspired me to kind of go further than I ever did. And I think for a while I was even trying to paint lighthouses and draw them.
Mhm.
So I did that for a while. I gave up now, but I did end up buying a big paint by numbers lighthouse, which one day I'll with you.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, it really inspired me artistically. Thank you.
That's great.
That's
Nice.
great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And well, I suppose maybe, you know, I think the most memorable for me for 2020 for the bells was definitely Rita and Nancy connection. Oh my gosh, that to me was, the highlight of our bells group. I mean, that, yes, that was major. That was a major acupuncture point of love that just really just expanded for, and it still is expanding, I have to say. It still is expanding. It's still ripping from all of that. And I think the other thing, I'm amazed that I've done this. I think maybe that's the most memorable thing that I'll remember for 2020 is that I did this. And I didn't even think about how many sessions, whatever. And yes, I do remember our conversation with Leticia. I was like, are you sure you can do this 7 days a week? And, and Heather was like, you're waking me up at, every single day, doing this type of thing. And and but here I am a year later. I feel the thing about the bells, it has uplifted my chi. I feel actually stronger chi wise, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I think the consistency of doing our meditations. I'm so grateful for Zoom. And the 40-minute limit was perfect. Everybody coming to look. And also, what I'm grateful for about the bells, it got me out of bed every single day. Because if I didn't do this, I would still be lying in bed right now as we speak. Groggy, by the time I get up, before the bells, I mean, what time did I get up? I mean,
12, 1.
And before you know it, so no matter what time I go to bed now, sometimes I go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning some days, but I am up at 11:15. I am up and here I am, and that is correct, as John was saying. There is some times where I wasn't able. I think it was only one time I was not able to do bells because I had to do a procedure at the Wilds Cornell or go for an appointment. But other than that, I think Lois was very generous when I had the wonky Wi-Fi, and Lois kind of, was able to help, take care of the Wi-Fi issues while I was trying to figure out what was happening. And but here we are, 1 year later,
Mm,
and so I just
mhm,
celebrate all of you for your
mm,
support and for your love, and
mm,
um, it's so great, you know, that the people at the very beginning are still part of the Bells. Dee and Agia and Lois and Mary Beth, and and even though they're not here with us today, but they are here with us. They were here at the
mm,
very beginning, and so I'm really very grateful for all of that chi energy that has, basically, you know, this is my, it's been my, this has been my medicine
mhm,
for good health, my
mhm.
medicine spiritually and emotionally, and I feel very, very blessed for having the Bells here. So I thank you so much for supporting this. And I think about our journey, because in the very beginning, I think I read, I read a chapter, or I read a story from This I Believe. I did an I Ching reading, once a week.
Mm,
Um,
Chinese characters.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Chinese characters.
Oh, yes, and I did Chinese characters, right? I did a
Yeah.
reading of the Chinese character. That's right. And um, and here we are. So um, and also I just kind of just see the evolution, of the chi energy of the Bells, and and I understand, this is obviously a very, very uh, wonderful example of our group dynamics, and the chi energy, essentially, I'll kind of a little summary. So in the beginning, it's kind
mhm,
of like, okay, we're just kind of like floating along. And of course, I'm getting inspired every day somewhat about, what am I going to talk about? So that's when I started, using and I have to say, maybe my crux, so to speak, where I would take the meditations in Qigong from Teacher Lee. And then I said, oh, I have to find something to read. That was something that I need to do. But we always did a meditation at the end. And then as time grew on, I said, well, I don't really need to have my paperwork from Teacher Lee any longer. I can just do it. Just, And then also the readings kind of went off, on its own. And all of a sudden I can create these cosmic questions for all of you, like, what is the meaning of life?
Mhm.
And then also, in terms of the dynamics of the group, of course, we have evolved, and and we're going to have our ups and downs. And I think probably the most seminal uh, chi point was, of course, the politics. The chi energy of the politics and how that affected the group. And was the group going to stay together or literally, fall apart? And I knew, and believe it or not, I knew that was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew that that is part of an evolution of the group. So that's one thing that I knew was going to happen, and it was definitely the acupuncture point of the politics and how contentious that was among the members here. And here
mm,
we are. We're still here. And to me, the Bells is really a macrocosm or microcosm, a reflection of our true world out there. We have so many wonderful people here, so many different points of view, but we are here for one reason. We are here to support each other and, to share our love, to share our thoughts. And of course, yes, there are boundaries, so to speak. But I think people have respected that. And of course, I've kind of gone through my stuff. Oh, should I write guidelines? Like the Facebook, like this is you post this, you don't post this. But I think underlying it all, I think this is what the Bells Group has evolved to, something which is very heartfelt, and
mhm.
and
Yes.
of course, that was bringing up issues, about welcoming new people. We have formed an incredibly uh, a group where we can be very vulnerable with each other, sharing our innermost feelings, which you probably can't do in a lot of other groups. I feel, and creating this safe space. But also, it begs those questions about, oh, what if somebody pops in, and who are these people? And so, of course, the people who I do welcome to the group, I do vet them out, I have to say. I do vet them out. They're just not coming, I do not post this on Facebook. I do not I do post on Facebook saying I am hosting a daily group.
Hmm.
So if people are interested, they have to email me first. I'm not just sending them the link, right off the bat. I really need
Hmm.
to know who these people. So as I mentioned, I think last week, Raul, I met him through a Facebook group for multiple myeloma, and he was really reaching out. But he really but he also responded to me by the email. So I got to know him a little bit better. So then I said, okay. And then he popped in on a Fun Friday. So that was his first time. So, and so I just applaud all of you for welcoming, all these new people who are actually looking for a venue to kind of get regrounded amid this, this pandemic and this literally unprecedented time of history where we are now looking at little boxes of each other. Just as Nancy was saying, she never met Rita. It's only through the little box that's in front of us. And, this is a whole different perspective of meeting people. And so
Yes,
this,
I wanted to share, it was actually great meeting Nancy, and Nancy was so welcoming, and her husband too, and showed me her whole garden and the chickens and her paintings. It was just lovely. I just really enjoyed it.
that's great. Anyway, any comments before I do a meditation? I can't believe it.
I have to say that's also one of the things I really truly love about all of you and about the group. But the first day Raul came on, I thought we were being Zoom bombed, and I was like, who the heck is this? This guy just shows up on the screen, and I was like, kind of like put off a little bit about, because I had no idea who it was or that RD even invited him. And I have to say, our group was so lovely and so inviting and made him really feel like he feels so supported and loves all of us because of how everyone just, I don't know, invited him in. And I'll never forget, I took a Zoom writing class with a cancer support group, Gilda's Club. And I came into a group that obviously had been meeting, for months before. And I felt so unwelcome and I felt so unpart of the group, even though it was open to everyone and it was a writing class, but they obviously formed a little bond. And I just remember how I just didn't even feel included in the group, and I didn't go back. And I just wanted to say, I just really, I'm touched of how we just welcome people and just make them feel loved and supported, even though we don't know them.
yes.
I like to ditto a lot of that because, I'm pretty much still one of the newbies. And that's exactly how I felt. I felt completely embraced by everyone. And that's why I kept coming back. Of course, as I mentioned, I was not comfortable with Zoom. But gradually, I started attending more and more and more. And again, this is the only Zoom that I'm involved in, except for my own stuff, but this is it for me.
Oh, that's great.
I just have to applaud you, RD. I really, really do. It's just such an honor, such a deep honor and a blessing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Deepest gratitude.
We've been together, well, some of us have been together, or some of you have been together for a year. But I remember coming in, I knew no one. I knew you, but I knew really no one. And I immediately felt, oh, I can do this. If I keep coming back, if I keep showing up, I know there'll be some kind of deeper connection. And it's proven to be true. I feel as if in some way I know you guys better than people I've known for years on end, because we go deep, as you said. And, there's something a little beautiful about that.
Yes. Yes, there is. And talk about, the pandemic has really given us the opportunity of going much deeper within ourselves. And I think the Bells has become the venue. I hope, well, I'm sure it has become the venue where we can talk about, in the Buddhist tradition, we're literally cutting all those layers and going to the core of who we truly are.
Yeah.
And by doing that, that will actually release, peace and serenity within ourselves. And when then, therefore, ultimately we release the love that will then spill out to others, and even though physically we can't see each other to do, I mean, to be with each other to do that, but we are doing that in the world. And so, so our little onion is now blossoming and grooming, and the
Mm.
ox has, planting our seeds all over the world, which
Yeah.
I feel very, wonderful. And when you think about it, we have Jochen in Berlin, we have Lana in California, we have Barbara in Virginia and Montreal, and we have Ocean Grove, right? And out in Long Island, in Lindenhurst, and also where Rita is out in Long Island. So in Manhattan, and then Poland. Rahul's from Poland.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite amazing, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Best part
We're
is
global.
we don't have to travel. I mean, pay for to come to this. We can literally. So in a way, that is the gift of the pandemic, is that we really can be uh, anybody from anywhere to join us. So, and I thank all of you. I thank all of you. So on that note, let's do a
Thank you.
meditation. Yes. So I'm going to mute everybody. Let's do a
Mhm.
meditation. We can continue tomorrow or for days later. And so let's just relax. I'm going to take off my glasses. Ah. Let's put our feet flat on the floor and just relax and just breathe. Can you take this, please? And let's imagine that we're outside, just welcoming the spring chi energy. This is April. We're now in April. Whew. And gently breathing in and breathing out. And let's just relax. And let's begin our time together with the ringing of the bells of hope. And just continue our breathing gently in and out, and just relax. Relax your entire being. And just relax our head and our necks. Maybe scrunch up your shoulders and just release. And just relax our shoulders and our arms, our elbows, relaxing our hands, our wrists, our fingers. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And gently bring attention to our hearts. Our hearts is filled with gratitude and with love. Purple healing chi energy. Gently bring our attention to the lower dantian, the center of our being. Breathing in and breathing out. The our golden stove. And just relax our hips and our thighs, our knees. Relax our legs, our ankles, our feet. Even relax our toes. Just connecting to Mother Earth below us. And let's imagine there are roots coming from our body, going through the legs, going deep, deep, deep down, connecting into Mother Earth. And just visualize this beautiful trinity of the universe, positive, loving, purple healing chi energy, connecting along the central channel of our bodies, connecting into our hearts, through the legs, connecting into the earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. And let's just take this time. Let's just take this time and just listen to the silence of the universe, of God, and in our hearts. Breathe in and breathe out. And gently, gently come join me at the gazebo. And the gazebo is on the side of the mountain, just overlooking the beautiful meandering river below. The pine trees, evergreen trees in the distance. The turtle or the tortoise mountains giving support. The dragon and tiger hills. We're all gathered here together in the gazebo. The Ming Tong or the Bright Hall, just welcoming this positive chi, healthy energy into our sacred space. And let's imagine there's a steaming hot tea, jasmine tea, and the aroma just filling the air. We're all here celebrating ourselves and the bells and of life. Now let's just gently, gently, gently take our palms and put it together in a prayer position. And then gently release your palms and just have a gentle hug, or maybe energetically, we're connecting our circle of chi with our hands, our hearts, actually. We are literally connecting our circle with our hearts. And I'm going to close our time together with the ringing of the bells of hope. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. The 6 true words, just welcoming kindness and compassion, smiles, good health and joy. And gently, gently open your eyes, kind of rub your palms, slowly wake up our chi. And then gently, gently tap, 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 tap along your face, along our eyes, the forehead, back of our head, rub your ears like a little puppy dog. Gently, gently tap along your meridians. Wake up the chi cells, gently tap along your heart and your shoulders and your thighs and your kidneys, a little tap dance. Thump, 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 like little rabbits. Happy Friday. Fun Friday. Thank you so much for celebrating life to all of you.
Happy Fun Friday.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you
you.
very much.
On
Thank
Friday.
you.
Have the best day ever.
Peace and blessings.
Best day ever.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Wonderful weekend. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow, or we'll definitely see you next week. We love you very much. Enjoy.
Love to all. Peace
Bye.
and blessings. Loving all. Bye-bye. Thank you.